everyone, my name is Chandni and I'm going to be reviewing the 2014 Chinese Grand Prix, which was held in Shanghai, which I'm very excited to do. And if we just start with Friday, since that was of course the beginning of the weekend for us as the fans to really be able to see what's happening in terms of Formula One and all the things that the teams are, just trying to maximize and trying to understand, all really does start on Friday in terms of what they can do on track. So Guido van der Garde, who of course is the test and reserve driver for Sauber, was taking Adrian Sutil's place Friday morning. Overall, it was a very good session. They were able to do a lot of work, very positive work on setup changes, the pedal and brake mapping, and they say that of course that it's not really easy in terms of getting the tyres to work. We know that the Chinese Grand Prix and the circuit in particular is very hard on front graining and is very hard on tyres. And so overall, Guido van der Garde had a very good session. He was P14, completing 16 laps. On the other side of the garage, we have of course the main driver, Esteban Gutierrez. He was able to do 17 laps, ending P18. Unfortunately for him, he had a clutch problem very early on, and yeah, that really did lose him quite a lot of time in the free practice 1 session. He did, however, get out in the middle of the session, but he had an ERS problem, energy recovery system problem, and so he was not running on full power, and that did actually affect his lap times. So it didn't go too well planned, the first practice session for him. However, in practice 2 in the afternoon, they were able to do long runs, and especially Esteban, who was able to do 32 laps and really solved most of the problems that they had from free practice 1, and continued to make improvements upon that, which was very positive. In terms of Sutil, he was back in the afternoon. He was P17, he did 30 laps. He said that it actually took him a while to get going, that the drivability really wasn't that easy, but in terms of lap times, he says that he was closer to his direct competitors, which is always a very positive thing. So if we get on to Saturday, of course, with qualifying underway, Gutierrez felt that he really could have got into Q2. He had technical issues on turn 6. Also, the brake-by-wire went into the safety mode. He actually made a mistake on the last corner of his lap, but he had a technical issue on turn 6 as well. Gutierrez, in the end, he was P15 in free practice 3 and P17 in qualifying. As for Sutil, he was very satisfied because he was able to get into Q2, and he says that it's a lot better performance in comparison to the previous qualifying sessions that Sauber have had, and that the wet weather conditions really did benefit them greatly. They also did a lot of setup changes for the wet weather conditions, which were very positive and good, and then he said that if it was dry it would be difficult for them. Now if we finally get on to the race itself, 16 to 17 degrees was the air temperature and 22 to 25 degrees was the track temperature. Esteban said that it was a very complicated race because of tyre management, and that the primes really weren't working for them, and that they had to switch from a 2 to 3 stop strategy, which was a disadvantage to him. If I talk just quickly of his strategy, actually, he started on the soft tyres, and then after 14 laps he went onto the medium. After that, he did 27 laps, and then he went back onto the mediums, and then after that he did 40 laps and then back onto the softs. And that really was a bit of a killer because they wanted to do a 2-stop, but then they did a 3-stop and they had to kind of just switch to the 3-stop, which was a bit of a disadvantage. But in terms of Sutil's race, he had a very short race because he had problems as early on as from the formation lap. His engine was not working properly, he was losing a lot of positions, even just off the line straight away. The team were trying to solve the problem, however, unfortunately for him, he did have to retire from the race at lap 6, which means that he had got a DNF for this particular Grand Prix, which is not really something, I'm pretty sure it's a race for him to forget, as he has done for the last 3 races now. He has had 3 DNFs in a row. However, he is very positive still, and I am as well, and I hope that you are, because if we really do look at the positives from this race, First of all, I'm going to say that the qualifying was very, very, very good, especially for Suttel as well, and Gutierrez, because Suttel got into Q2 and Esteban almost got into Q2. It's a lot better qualifying sessions that they've had in the past this year already. So that is one of the positives. Another positive is, in comparison to Malaysia and Bahrain, where they had double retirements, they had one car that actually finished, and that was of course Esteban, but it's still a step forward. It is still better than not finishing Grand Prix. Another thing is also that we have now got the Spanish Grand Prix coming up. What this basically means is that there's going to be updates, upgrades, bits and pieces that are going to come into the car. Nisha Kauterman says that it is confidence for the upcoming races, because they're going to introduce further development steps. And that is always a very positive thing to look forward to. I have no doubt that Sauber will be on its game, and I genuinely think that it's going to be very exciting to see what's going to happen. Of course, I go back to their factories, work very hard on their car, bring new bits and pieces to Barcelona, and it's going to be very, very exciting, and I genuinely do look forward to it, and I hope that you do too. Of course, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to Sauber Motorsport. I also have a channel on YouTube, which is youtube.com/ChandniVlogs, where I cover every single practice 1, practice 2, practice 3, qualifying, race, news updates, and previews for the up-and-coming Grand Prix. So if you would like to check that out, then do. And as always, again, don't forget to subscribe to Sauber Motorsport here on YouTube, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!